Hello world, welcome back to another D&D Beyond dev update. Already off to a good start because I talked myself out of a last second very bad idea to do this whole dev update as an ASMR video. We'll do that another time. It's coming. We'll do little hairbrush sound effects and rub Q-tips in your face and whisper the dev update to you guys. I am joined by someone much better, much more important than me, Mellie Doucette. Hey Mellie. Mellie, you went full SAMR. You're muted.
I'm
On
the
my
most
side?
ASMR of all time. I just said hello, Joe, and that I think you're important. Um,
Aw.
that's why I
Hey,
muted
thanks,
myself. I didn't
Mellie.
want anybody else to hear it. It was just for you.
Well, hey, we got a cool dev update. We're going to walk through the roadmap with you guys a little bit. And then Pat, old friend of the show, you guys know Pat Backmann. He's going to come on. He's going to answer your questions. So make sure you guys are getting those questions ready to go. Give him some hard balls. Really, put this guy's back against the wall. Ask him the tough questions. He's always down to just hang out with you guys and give you some honest answers. Always happy to have him. Always happy to have you guys here. And that said, let's jump in to the roadmap. There's a bunch of books available for pre-order. It's been crazy. The Wild Beyond the Witchlight is available for pre-order. That is a Feywild adventure. Right now, all the details that we know are available on the website, and basically we know that it's a Feywild adventure, and it is 5e's first official venture outside of the occasional mention in the Dungeon Master's Guide, the player handbook, into the Feywild, and we of course are going to find out more at D&D Live in July on G4. That's not the only book available for pre-order, is it, Mellie?
No, we also have Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos available for pre-order, and we know even less about this book. We do know it's Magic the Gathering, based, on the Strixhaven setting from that, which is this kind of like magical school kind of setting. So I am extraordinarily interested in this. I've been paying attention to Michael and Amy gave us a tour of it last week, which was absolutely delightful. A little campus tour
Our own
for us,
Michael
and
Galvis, is a huge Strixhaven
so
guy.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Magic the Gathering, but I am very excited about this setting. Just even for something to just take for my own Magic school game would be so cool.
Yeah. No, my familiarity with Magic the Gathering ends at when I was a summer camp counselor and I had a group of kids who only played Magic the Gathering, no matter what we were doing. If we were at the lake, they were playing Magic the Gathering. And it got to the point where my boss was like, mention it to their moms. And I was like, okay. And when their moms came to get them, it was like a day camp. And I was like, hey. And they were like, the Magic the Gathering. And I was like, yeah, I just wanted to check in. And they were like, their math scores have gone from like D's to A's. So they can play Magic the Gathering all they want. And I was like, 10-4. That's all I know about Magic. All that said, yeah, again, we're going to learn more about that on D&D Live. But overall, it seems like there's a lot of Magic School stuff just in the air. Dimension 20 just announced their new show is going to be a Magic like a Harry Potter sort of Strixhaven parody kind of show. So yeah, super excited for some cool new Magic School stuff and a new approach to it. So I'm stoked about that. Also available, our Sanguine Dice are available to subscribers. This was our June perk. Check your watches. It's June 17th. We're a little late. I'll give you guys some context for that. So basically, when our very first perks rolled around in May, rightfully so, the community had a ton of questions around them in terms of which led to a ton of internal questions for us, like when is the best time to give away these assets? When should new subscribers get them? When should old subscribers? Just a ton of just very good questions for us to sort of answer internally. And Mellie, you can drop in context. You're a little better with words than me, the professional word speaker.
Well, we've had like a lot of people, especially if you were subscribing brand new, you'd be waiting to the next Friday or the next Monday for those to go out, and that was a manual process. Somebody had to go in and they had to start that process. So there was kind of a lot of things going on with that. But hey, these new subscriber perks, you get them right away. That is one of the big things we were able to sort of sort out and get going. So if you have not subscribed yet and you go to ddb.ac/subscribe and then you subscribe, you're going to get the dice immediately as opposed to having to wait. And hey, 17 days still, that is some time, but now everybody has them and they're
Took us
very
some time.
squishy and you can roll them and they sound so gross and I love.
They're very satisfying. So yeah, and if you're a current subscriber and you don't see them showing up yet, the script is currently running to make them available to you. So hopefully they're available to you by the end of the dev update. So they should be there soon. And also, as sort of a make good on this, they'll be available through August 3rd. So they're going to be available through July. We want to make sure that everyone has a chance to get them. So just wanted to, I know people have been like, where are they? So wanted to give you guys a little bit of explanation into that process and why that took, a little bit longer to get done. Also want to acknowledge the weird art. I forgot to acknowledge our weird art today. I asked our mod team for their favorite Fae imagery. And this is what we got. So we got, if you want to, hey, will you back up to the glowy bananas? Yeah, so we got glow. Yeah, there's the glowy bananas. So this is our
the
moderator
moderator's favorite image of all time.
of all time, of all D&D. This is their favorite image. Anytime you ask them for anything, this is what they respond with. This and in fact, they leveled it up and gussied it up with the glowy banana. So they gave me this, and actually, our fearless leader, Ant, gave me this picture of Tina Fey. And thanks, guys. Thanks, team. You
Tina
guys
Fey
don't care
wild.
about Fey imagery pranks. You guys care about the roadmap. I'm so sorry for getting us off on a tangent. Okay, so Sanguine Dice available until August 3rd. And then also available sort of on the content end. Today, it's Happy Pride, Mellie Doucette. You guys, you want to tell them a little bit about today's panel?
Oh, yes, we've got an amazing roundtable happening today for Pride. Our amazing Amy Dallen will be hosting. This is at 12 p.m. PT, and that's with Anthony Rapp from Star Trek Discovery and Rent. We got B. Zelda from Broadswords, Brian Gray from Rivals of Waterdeep, and Sam Delev from A Darkened Wish. Just amazing group of people. They're going to be chatting here on the channel at 12 p.m. PT, so do make sure you tune into that. It's going to be a pretty, just incredible opportunity.
No, it's going to be fantastic. They're going to be talking a little bit about, yeah, like you said, how to sort of approach the hobby if you're new to it, or how to return to it if you had left, and sort of finding your place within the scene. This hobby, D&D, is for absolutely everyone. So we're super stoked to have this panel to sort of have that approach voice, because not everyone feels like it is, right? And if we do one thing right all year, and that is to shout on the mountaintops that it is absolutely for you and you're welcome, then we've done a very good one right thing this year, and I'm proud of it. We also have so last night we actually wrapped our 5-episode miniseries of House of Lament. I DM'd, Mellie's in it, Amy's in it, Michael Galvis is in it. You three are wonderful players. We had a fantastic time. We're actually going to drop the first episode on YouTube this Friday. We're launching it as a premiere, which means it'll run live, which means you'll be able to jump into chat. We'll actually be in chat with you guys, hanging out for a watch along. So please join us on Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific time to jump into the House of Lament with us. I had a blast running it, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it. If you haven't been able to yet, it's 5 pretty short episodes. We kept them pretty snug. They're each about 90 minutes, because I value your time. And 90 minutes of Joe's imagination is all I expect for you to cram into your busy day. Let's give you guys an update. Oh, let's do the okay. Yeah. I'm going to give you the bad news, Mellie. Mellie, I'm going to do the bad news, and then you can move on with the very, very good news to hype everyone back up, to bring the room back up for Pat. Right? This is if this was a comedy show, I am the comic that's about to bomb. Then you are going to rescue the room with a really tight set, and then you're going to bring up the headline.
No pressure. Yeah. Just gotta save after this.
So we have an update on our Strixhaven UA, and that update, to just rip the Band-Aid off, is that we've taken the time to sort of look through the playtest content on Mages of Strixhaven from Wizards, and its new approach to subclasses. And while we really want to be able to support the UA, we're just not going to be able to. it's just the approach to it, and the new angle is going to take a lot of development time to present the material, one in the way that Wizards intends it to be presented for the game, and two in a way that we're going to be happy with, right? We don't want to give you guys anything subpar ever. So as a result, we're not going to be offering this round of Unearthed Arcana to D&D Beyond, which sucks, and we're not happy about it. But that said, we had a lot of conversations internally in terms of like, yeah, but what if we do get it done? Should we just like hold off? And ultimately we felt like the best approach was, we didn't want to like string the community along with false hope. And I think the smarter call to make was, hey, the UA is just not going to happen, and let's take that time to really make sure that this material is solid for when the official book comes out. So while it's not great news, just wanted to be open and upfront with you guys about it. My job is to not just tell you when cool things are happening, but to be really honest with you guys when less than cool things are happening. Of course, if you want to work around, we welcome you guys to sort of explore homebrew tools on DDB as an option to make those subclass features available to the characters in your party. Obviously, that comes with a big caveat and a reminder that you may only publish homebrew content that is your original creation. That's publishing. Your private homebrew content does not need to be published in order for you to use it or for the users in your campaign to use it in your party and in your game. So that's sort of the the approach that we suggest if you really want to jump into it on your D&D Beyond game. And ultimately, again, if you're ever frustrated about what's going on here, there's a really incredible team behind the curtain working really hard all the time to enhance y'all's experience. Blame these things on me. I caused this. I broke the machine. Blame the guy in the cat shirt. Completely his fault. Let that be known. I made this call. Our team was like, we could do it, and I was like, no, they don't deserve it, and this is my fault.
This is why we call him the Dreadlord of Content.
That's right. That's absolutely right. All that said, we do have some very cool things in the pipeline. Mellie, give him the good news. Hit him with both barrels.
Excellent news. So in progress for our, encounter builder combat tracker, saving and resuming combat is, in the pipeline, in the works. I know this is a huge thing for a lot of people because, hey, we, pause this combat in the middle of, we pause our session in the middle of a combat, or hey, I refresh the page, and all these different things that come up in a game. That's going to be awesome. Also in progress, we slipped this one into the last minute, so it's not on your screen here, but hey, dark mode is in progress. Dark mode for your character sheets. So this gets asked here on the dev update a lot. It has become a meme, honestly, in a lot of ways for all of you who are, in the chat for these dev updates a lot. And hey, it is on the way. It is coming. It is in the works. So get really hyped for that. And Joe, how about our 2021 overall plans?
Well, now on the 2021 overall plans is to give you guys a reason to now start asking us for extraordinarily bright mode, now that dark mode is eventually going to be available. Very excited for that to become the absolute new meme. Again, just to check in on our 2021 goals, our focus sort of as a team, as a business, it's to wrap that character sheet backlog that we know we've got kind of trailing behind us, hovering over our head. There's a goal to knock that out. Obviously, our the generic feature system, which I refuse to call generic because I think it's pretty cool, which is going to sort of be designed to tackle a wide variety of challenges, from boons to dark gifts on your character sheet, and also not only make those things possible, but then in the future sort of give us a very sort of flexible and solid way to very quickly approach future features, like those things that Wizards and Dungeons and Dragons publish and make available in the game, and then the continued integration of our shared play space, which I know doesn't make sense on its own. and it will. Man, it will. I know that today's a dark Strixhaven day, and I get it, but man, it's going to be ultimately, and we're talking dark mode today, but man, it's a cool year for us,
Mm-hmm.
and so that sentence is going to start making a little more sense too. All that said, Mellie, bring up our headliner.
Well, we have back with us again the amazing, incredible Pat Backmann, Senior Product Manager. Just a wonderful, wonderful person who's got answers for your questions, possibly. So go ahead and throw those in the chat. The word question followed by your question. We will get as many of those answered as possible. Pat, welcome to the show. For those who haven't met you before, they haven't been tuning into this, can you share a little bit about what you do here at D&D Beyond? Who are you?
I am, again, and I'll continue to do this, Mellie. I am not all those wonderful things that you say, but I'll take them on like a mantle. But hey, so I'm a senior product manager for the characters team at D&D at Fandom for D&D Beyond. I've been doing it for just a little over 2 years now, and that's what I do.
Outstanding. So yeah, if anybody's questions about those sorts of things, get them into the chat because we're going to be able to answer as many of those as we can. And again, just for everybody's awareness, hey, we don't do ETAs. So asking, hey, when is this thing you talked about going to come? We don't have that information for you right now. But if you want to ask, about what this might entail, those sorts of things, or hey, what's the progress report on that? That's something we could probably take a look at for you.
Absolutely. If I can pass on question asking advice from my previous job days, when you go to a press junket for a movie, you can't outright ask like, "Hey, is Rey a Skywalker?" When the sequel trilogy, when you're at the press junket for Force Awakens, you gotta find sneaky ways to get that information out of the talent. So make those questions sneaky. I just want to make your job harder, Pat.
Yeah, get those sneaky questions. And we have one here from Aaron Lors. We have this new feedback process that we've been talking about in the last few weeks, and that's kind of been ongoing. And Aaron Lors is asking, hey, Pat, how is this new feedback process working? Can you give us an update?
Yeah, it's working fantastic. So we are getting so much that comes through our product board software. That's coming from Twitter. It's coming from this Twitch stream right here. It's coming from Facebook, Instagram. It's coming from all the places because our moderators are out there just collecting. Right? They're like that droid from Empire Strikes Back, and just getting information and sending it into us. And it's fantastic. I process all of my feedback on Tuesday morning, and it's starting to become a chore, which is good because it takes a good hour and a half to get through it sometimes. So it's fantastic.
That's amazing. Has there anything, Pat? Has there been anything that kind of like surprised you that that I don't know? Maybe we thought this way, and feedback is proving otherwise. I mean, that you're allowed to talk about, even, or just anything that you were like, "Oh, that's a cool idea that we hadn't really thought of."
Oof. Let's see. Joe, now you put me really on the spot there.
That's what I do.
Oh boy, I'm trying to think of something that was just amazing. Without going back into the system and wasting everybody's time, I can't say anything off the top of my head. I just can't right now think of anything. There are things though that we get that are pretty amazing, but most of the time, the information that we get and the feedback we get is these little tweaks, like, hey, maybe you should do this way, or just adjust it ever so slightly here. But basically that's it. You can put me on the spot. Good, thanks, Joe. Appreciate that.
Sorry, man. That's on me. That's totally on me. I apologize, my brother.
And again, it's why we call him the Dreadlord of Content. But hey, Pat, let's see if Necromine or Necromany. I don't know how you pronounce it, my friend. I'm sorry. Hey, what do y'all think about adding a sub-equipment menu to the bag of holding, aka putting things into a bag of holding and other kinds of inventory management powers like that? What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. Matter of fact, the whole team thinks that's a fantastic idea, in so much as the meeting that I stepped out of to do this update today is the iteration sprint number 2 to make that happen for you all in the very near future. So, yep, it's being worked on as we speak.
Y'all got a scoop.
Ah! Cool. That's a scoop, and I just saw the question asker in the chat celebrating at that, so that is amazing. Oh,
yeah. It's neat though. It's neat, Mellie, because some of the things that we can do is so like, what is it? A bag of holding has a 500-pound weight limitation.
Yeah.
And do you want to follow that rule and force people to follow that rule? So if I have 501 pounds, then my bag of holding doesn't work. Well, no. So maybe just let people know they're overweight on the bag of holding, but then don't hold them accountable in case they want to say they have an extraordinarily large bag of holding. So it's the way we're setting it up. It's not going to be restrictive. It's going to be completely permissive, but it's going to keep you honest if you choose to be. So that would be neat.
Yeah, I love it.
One thing that we won't be doing with the inventory management is the cubic foot stuff. So if you want to stick a boat in your bag of holding, you can do that. We're not going to make the cubic foot limitation at all. It's just that's something that's not currently in our system. We do have weight in our system, but cubic feet in our system has a number, and then actually doing the Tetris mathematics to figure out what would actually fit inside of a backpack or a chest is really difficult to do.
Yeah, because especially a lot of things in the game don't have like this is exactly how big this thing is. So it'd be a little hard. Yeah, there are a few things that do, but most things are how big is this sword? It's a long sword size?
Yeah, like long sword size. Not okay, this is 16 cubic centimeters and it weighs 8 pounds. Yeah, that would be really difficult. And then how 16 cubic centimeters, but it's also 4 feet long. So how does that fit in my backpack? Sticking out, it's hard.
I don't like math. So moving on from that, KC Media Productions
like
asks,
so.
How is the Universal system going? What kind of stage are we at in that? What kind of we also have some people asking, hey, what kind of challenges are we facing with the Universal feature system? Just kind of a general, like, hey, how's it going, Pat, on this?
So the Universal feature system, is that your fault, Joe, that we've changed it to Universal, or is that
I take no credit for the term I take no credit for the term Universal. I give all credit to KC Media Productions for the term Universal. I will say I like it better than generic.
Yeah,
I think we've gone to calling it feature system and drop generic, but hey, people are going to add in new adjectives, and now we need a
I just want the system
to give us your best adjectives.
I just want the system to have a sense of self-esteem. That's all I want.
I love it. So the Universal feature system, and the funny thing is the universe. I love it. I love it. So my background's in philosophy. Universal or unmoved mover, right? So Aristotelian philosophy. So I think because the Universal feature system, which we're going to probably adopt that, is a feature system that uses atomic design. The atoms, Universal, unmoved mover, all cool things. It uses the smallest thing to build the building blocks to make something change or to give you a thing. So if we want a blessing, let's say the blessing is, first of all, it's a blessing. Second of all, it has a name. Third of all, it has something that it does, +2 to something. And what's the something that's +2? Strength. Okay. So all those little elements put together make the blessing of strength, or actually blessing of health is actually a real one. So we'll say that. But then you take a couple of those kinds of Lego blocks and put them together, and then you can start to serve things like Strixhaven and fix those things. So I love the universal feature system. I'm going to heavily consider adopting that. Thank you for the naming convention. It is more befitting of what it is that we're building. And to somebody else's point back here about Strixhaven, hopefully with the universal feature system, we'll be able to catch up and not have to catch up, but legitimately bypass a lot of extra work and effort. And it is not in the planning stages; it's in the execution stages right now. And it's constantly being tinkered with, but we should accelerate development on that round about Halloween time frame. So more stuff will start coming out around that time frame regarding this feature.
Amazing. And thank you, Pat. I also just want to say that I love that the Pat as a person roadmap, because you get puzzle pieces about people, right? And I didn't know the philosophy step. I just knew the helicopter pilot step, and I just love the roadmap of philosophy major, I guess, to helicopter pilot to D&D software engineer is I absolutely love. Sorry, we've got probably time for one or two more questions, Mellie.
Yeah, I actually just also really quickly, Pat, I know in the past you sort of talked about how this feature system is sort of, there's a bit of an iterative stages to it. Is that something that is like an internal iterative stages? Or is that something where, hey, we might release stage 1 of this, then stage 2 of this to the public?
Yeah, so Jason, my counterpart, who is the engineer, I'm the product folk, so I don't really know the digit part. But Jason likes to say we do not finish an iteration without having something that we could deliver. Whether we deliver it or not is our choice, but it has to be a thing. It can't just be on the way to a thing. So yes, it is iterative, and at every stage we work on it, something happens. Whether folks see it or not is it's up to us, because we don't want the something to be confusing. If you only get, like, if somebody showed up, so let's say you're in the Old West, right? You're just Cowboy Joe and Cowboy Mellie out in the Old West, and somebody walks up to your house and drops a crate engine for a Ford in front of you, you're going to be like, that is the useless piece of some metal in front of me. So that said, it's best that we make sure that the crate engine is attached to something that's going to be useful to you before we just drop it off to you. I just went all the way around trying to explain that.
All the way around.
I think I confused myself, but
Hey, I love it. Lots for people to chew on there, which I definitely dig. We also have, where did it go? Oh, yes, Artemis Themp is asking, hey, sidekicks. Is there a system for that coming along? What's sort of the idea with the sidekicks as presented in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything?
Yeah, so it's Artemis Themp?
I think so.
Yeah, it's still on the shelf, my friend. I wish I could pull it off the shelf and start working on it today, but we have this inventory thing that we're currently working on. Mellie spilled the beans on the dark mode thing that's just like so close, and then of course the universal feature system is going to give us a lot of capacity for other things, and even in so much as help us with the sidekick system. So we have to get that universal feature system done first to get the other things going.
Well, right on, man. Well, hey, you gave some scoops, you gave some insight. I love it, man. I appreciate you taking the time for us. I know that you guys are literally in meetings to work on the Universal feature system and inventory this morning. So I appreciate you taking some time to chat with the community. I know they always really appreciate it as well. I won't say that this will be a regular thing because I'll probably forget about it next week. But best username today goes to what was the Hermione one? Because it sounded like it was like Necromione. Yeah, because it sounded like
yes,
Necromine
or
sounded like Hermione
Necromany
Granger.
or Necromione.
Yeah, sounded like Hermione Granger became a lich, and I appreciate it. So you win best username in today's dev
idea
update.
for
Congratulations. Exactly. Oh my idea for Strixhaven. Pat, thank you again so much for being with us. Mellie, thank you so much for being with us. Y'all, honestly, thank you guys so much for being with us. We really, really appreciate it. Tune in at noon for our Pride panel with Anthony Rapp. And just a roundtable of really incredible guests on finding your place, finding your home within the D&D hobby. And then hang out with us tomorrow, 4:00 Pacific time, to watch the first episode of House of Lament. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, be safe, be nice to each other, be kind. Bye-bye.